Hi, this is Paul Minicucci, your host this week, and here we are again in beautiful downtown Grass Valley at the corner of Auburn and Main Street. And before our first guest gets here, we will have one of our Meet Your Neighbor with Melissa Missler. Melissa?
Hello and welcome back to downtown Grass Valley. We're here at the Thursday night market. My name's Melissa Missler and we're thrilled to be here tonight with Melissa Pellerino. Good evening, Melissa. Hi. Some of what we're talking about tonight is just meet your neighbor. Who's out there with the Thursday night market? And so, Melissa, you're a business owner here in Grass Valley. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, I'm actually out on the outskirts of that Grass Valley on 49 and Combi, and I work at the Cut and Curl Hair Salon. Been there for 6 years, hairdresser for 30 years, and I love it.
And your specialties, what kind of services do you offer?
I do all the hair stuff. My specialty is color. I also do makeup, and I also work at the shop here in Grass Valley called M3 Mall, where I do makeovers.
And do you do bridal updos and makeover and have some different specials that way?
Definitely. I've been specializing in bridal hair and makeup for years, and I love it. I love working with the brides. It's really a blessing to be a part of that time for them.
All right. And working in the bridal industry, it really makes Nevada County a destination, bringing others into the county to see the beauty. And so it's just such a wonderful opportunity to be a business here in Grass Valley.
Right.
Is that right?
Yes.
And in addition to what you do, you're also volunteering throughout the community, and you are a fundraising coordinator.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what you do there.
Well, it began with working with the Bear River Grad Night. My husband and I like to get involved with the decorations and some other parts of it. And so I found out about the fundraising portal that we could use to get people signed on, and they can shop through that portal and be able to help make some money for Grad Night.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And so how many years have you been working with Grad Night?
My first year was 2009, and then we did this last year's Grad Night decorations, and it was a blast.
All right. And so when you're looking at why you're here on a Thursday night market, this is just a fabulous, beautiful evening. What are some of the benefits of living in Grass Valley and being right here?
Well, I love the idea of just this whole market thing. This is actually my first time to visit here, and just to see all of the local businesses that are going on, and how we're just a close-knit community, and we can network together and just partner together in a lot of different areas.
Now, do you have a website that talks about some of your services?
I do.
Okay. And what is that?
It's actually melissapellerino.com. I actually have some Grad Night pictures on there, and you can always Google Cut and Curl and find me that way too.
And if a parent wanted to get involved in Bear River Grad Night, how would they even start that?
Well, the Bear River Grad Night is not a school-funded, or it doesn't participate at all in it, except that we have it there. So it's all parents. And we do have a Grad Night committee, though, that you can get in touch with through the school.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And now this portal. So I'm understanding that you get the different supporters to buy what they were normally buying anyways, and they get cash back for that.
Right.
What's in it for Bear River Grad Night? How does that work?
Well, a certain percentage of the sales goes to Grad Night. And what's awesome too is if you're kind of a person who likes to make a little kickback money, you can actually do that through shopping through here. And what I love is you can also get all of your traveling needs through there, hotels, cars, even airline tickets. So it's awesome. It's a great place to start if you're doing any kind of shopping.
All right. And so how do people get in touch with you again? Spell out your website.
Melissa, MELEESA, Pellerino, PELLERINO.com.
All right. Thank you, Melissa. And again, this is Melissa Missler with Thursday Night Market. Thank you.
Good evening. This is Paul Minicucci back at the Thursday Night Live Market down at the corner of Auburn, down here on Auburn Street and Main Street in Grass Valley. And a special guest with us tonight is Julie Baker for the Center for the Performing Arts, right up the street. Julie, welcome.
Thank you, Paul. Good to be here.
Now, tomorrow, I know we have a really big day in town. Tell us about what shakes tomorrow.
Oh, man, it's going to be the party of the year. It's we're bringing Aaron Neville, Charles Neville, and their quintet, and Ivan Neville's Dumpster Funk. We're doing a New Orleans-themed party out at the hottest, newest venue venue, which is the North Star House, about 5 minutes from downtown Grass Valley on the grounds of a 1906 Julia Morgan house who designed Hearst Castle. We've got 77 additional entertainers after those stars, and they include people like Circus Jam, Earth Rhythms, Bowtie Beauties, Troop to Trash, all sorts of fabulous, wonderful local performers. Kelly Fleming. We've got Synthetic Unlimited, which are local comedians and improv group. They're going to be on our shuttle buses, entertaining people. We've got a photo booth. We've got it's just going to be a really great party, super fun, and a wonderful benefit for Nevada County Land Trust. So we're thrilled that we got to produce it this year.
Now, you still have some tickets left?
We do have tickets left, actually, because it's such a large outdoor venue that the general admission, which is festival seating, which is on the lawn, is pretty expansive. The gala did sell out, however.
So tell me, I'm a Nevada City resident or a Grass Valley resident. How do I get there?
So what you're going to do for general admission, actually, is you're going to go to Fairgrounds, and you're going to park at Gate 4 at the Fairgrounds, and you're going to take a 5-minute shuttle ride over from the Fairgrounds. So it's pretty simple for everyone, because I think most people know where the Fairgrounds is located.
Right. That would help clarify things.
Yeah.
So what kind of stuff? No, it's not the Neville brothers, right? So is there fare the typical kind of New Orleans things that the Neville brothers would do?
Yes, it's Aaron Neville himself has had some solo albums, including soul classics and gospel music, a lot of New Orleans classics, and this is actually with his quintet, which includes his brother Charles Neville, who's the famous horn player. So you'll have maybe it's not all the Neville brothers, but 2 of them for sure. And it's really Aaron's solo project, but it's now called the Quintet.
And Dumpster Funk is that a rap kind of group?
No, it's a funk group. So
so heavy horns and
a lot
bass?
of horns, tons of keyboard. They're kind of like a Parliament, Funkadelic, Sly Stone. That's going to get the party started for sure. That and the Hurricanes, which I don't know if you've ever had a hurricane. It's a New Orleans drink. It's fruit juice and rum. Between that and Dumpster Funk, it's going to be the party of the year.
So what time does the party kick off?
The party kicks off at 5:30. The gates open for general admission, and again, you can start at the fairgrounds and go from there. And it should be wrapping up about 10:30.
10:30. So that's a really good evening of entertainment.
It's an awesome evening of entertainment, a terrific benefit for our local Nevada County Land Trust, which is so important in terms of land conservation, as well as for the center. And the center is also a nonprofit organization, and we really try to support other nonprofits by helping to produce their events, because that's what we do for a living.
Well, now, so I know you guys are always looking for new venues. Is this something we could look forward to as a new venue?
Absolutely. There's a real community drive to produce an outdoor venue, and I think a number of us, a number of arts organizations are looking at the North Star House as the potential for that, and I think it has great potential. It's a beautiful setting out under the stars. It would be terrific to see a permanent stage there. It's a tremendous amount of cost and expense to produce this event for the center.
Right.
So if we had some things that were already built in there, that would really be helpful.
I was going to say, I imagine that this is going to take a lot of amps on the whole audio setup, and through the speakers that you're going to have to.
Well, we bring in all the best guys. So we actually bring in sound companies from outside of the area, only because there isn't really anyone here locally who can do it at this level in terms of the equipment. And then we also bring in a stage company from outside the area. So the thing for the center is it's really important, if we're going to bring this level of entertainment, that it's quality. So we're spending a good amount of money on making it the party of the year, not only in terms of a great experience for the patrons, but awesome experience for the artists too, because it's a small industry ultimately, and if the artist has a great time, they're going to tell their friends, you got to go play in Grass Valley.
Right.
And that's what's starting to happen. We're getting calls from everyone. We're on the map now in terms of a wonderful place to play, because we have incredible audiences, and the hospitality can't be beat.
Right. And I know from my past experience as Deputy Director of the Arts Council, State Arts Council, that a lot of people look as secondary venues if you're talking about 50 miles more or less from a anchor venue like the Mondavi Center, for example. And we'll be able to pick that up if we could prove that you could deliver those kinds of audiences. There's no end to the kind of mid-level acts you can bring in here?
Well, and I'd say we're going beyond mid-level.
Well, I mean mid-level, size.
Yeah, of course. Yes. In June, we had Wynton Marsalis, the
Right.
Jazz at Lincoln Center Orchestra, which is an exact example of what you're talking about in terms of they came here and then they went to Mondavi. We're doing a lot of that. A lot of times it has to do with routing. So Aaron Neville's on his way to someplace, 3 hours from
Right.
here.
That's the key. Is that the circuit knows who can support that, and you'll get bookings if people can count on it. On the other hand, if you do a couple and they don't have such good audiences, you fall off the map. So we're pulling for it.
Yeah, for sure. No, and we're really excited because the response to what we've been doing in the last 2 years in terms of these sort of headlining performances has been tremendous. And one of the things that we work really hard to do also is to bring people from outside the area, not only the performers but the audiences as well, because it really helps our downtowns in terms of tourism and people getting to know this area as a destination for the arts, which is a big piece of what I've been working on really for the last 12 years in this community. And now there's really just this terrific collaboration between the arts organizations and a movement towards that. So it's very exciting, and I think that the community is completely supportive of it. We have this tremendous foundation for the arts. I can't imagine a community this size that has as much as we do anywhere else, and I'm just thrilled that we can be a part of it. And we've got acts like Crosby Nash coming, which is
Tell us about that.
That's something that's really exciting for us, something I've been working on for a while. That was completely based on relationships, as many industries are, and someone here locally is very good friends with Graham Nash, and we talked to them, and again, it was sort of relationships and synchronicities, things coming together. They were actually doing some warm-up gigs before they go off to Europe, and so they're going to do Vegas, and they're going to do here, and so that's really exciting. That show is already almost sold out, so if you don't have your tickets for that, get them really fast. Crosby Nash is going to be sold out very soon because again, that's at the Vets Hall, so we're talking about less than 1,000 seats, and that's just going to be an exciting show. And one of the things again that we're committed to is really supporting other nonprofits, as I said before. So we've invited Circle to do an auction in the during the intermission that was approved by Crosby Nash's management, and so they'll benefit also from that event.
Fabulous, yeah, and you'll get to play, I'm sure, some of the old covers from the, from Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young days, and
they've got plenty
Buffalo,
of material.
Springfield, and everywhere.
They've got lots of material. They promised us a pretty good long show, and we're just so excited to bring them here.
Right. So now, how far in advance do you need to plan events like a big event like Wynton Marsalis or Buffy St. Marie? We haven't talked about yet, or Crosby Nash. I mean, how long does that take to get on the calendar?
Sometimes it's as much as 6 months, and sometimes it's as little as 2 months. When Wynton Marsalis fell into place, we actually had a much shorter sales cycle than we normally have. It was 2 months to announce, sell, and fill the house, and we did. So we were thrilled again with that. But and then sometimes it's as much as 4, 5, 6 months. We don't book that far out because that's how we get those fill-in dates. If we fill our calendar, then it's going to be really difficult for us to get those those things.
And sometimes it breaks your way, and sometimes it doesn't. I had plenty of occasions where we had celebrities booked for one event or another when I was at the Arts Council, and sometimes 6 would show up, and sometimes you would get one. Because it's all about, they don't know until the last minute, basically a month or so out, as to whether they will even be available. So they won't sign a contract often.
Sometimes that's
that far
the case for sure. I mean, most of the time they're touring, so they're we work with the agents and they're building their tours.
So, how much of a risk financially is it to book an act like that?
They're all risky. They all keep me up at night. I worry about each one of them. My job is to sell those tickets and do the marketing. But you can't expand and you can't grow unless you take a risk. So we've been lucky in that we've been really successful with these shows. For the most part, there's only been one that has not been financially successful for us. So you go for it. You hope you're making the right decision in terms of the demographics of our community, in terms of the price point, in terms of the timing, in terms of all of those things. And and I think as we grow and as we expand our market beyond just our local base, as much as the local base is incredible, I think that's really going to help us in terms of taking those risks and knowing that there is an audience for it.
Right, it certainly is, and we really appreciate, because I can tell you folks out there, if you don't have a Center for the Arts, you don't have a shot at getting these kind of acts up here. So it's in everybody's best interest to support to support the art. So we have about a minute or two left. Tell me about Buffy St. Marie, one of my favorites.
Oh, I hope you're coming.
I plan to.
Excellent. Well, she's coming on Saturday, August 13th, and she's coming with an all Aboriginal band that she's been touring with. They're super, super hot. It's going to be a terrific show in our venue. So that's only 300 seats.
Right.
It's an intimate show with just a legendary performer, and it's very exciting. It was something I saw on somebody else's roster, and I went, Buffy St. Marie? Wait a second, she's still touring? I think she'd be great here. So again, just excited that she's coming to our little town. And then the week after that is Amy Mann.
Right.
Amy Mann's coming from Mountain Winery, which is a much larger venue,
yes.
coming to our intimate venue again, 300 seats. So August is jam-packed. We've got lots of other announcements. Come to the Center for the Arts. Check us out online, centerforthearts.org, and support the arts in Nevada County.
Well, thank you, Julie, for coming by and sharing time with us. We certainly are big supporters of yours, and we'll do whatever we can, do our part to help you guys out.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. That's all for the moment. We'll be right back with some more messages from some of the underwriters.
Soundcheck Music Center, the rock and roll connection. We have guitars, amps, drum equipment, sound accessories, lessons, and repairs.
This is Paul Minicucci back at downtown Thursday Night Market. We have three lovely young ladies who come to visit us. Tell us again what your name is.
I'm Allie.
And you are?
I'm Ella. And I'm Emily.
Randy. Okay, where do you guys go to school?
Lyman Gilmore.
Huh?
Lyman Gilmore. Same.
Same. So you know about digital media at Lyman Gilmore. You got one of the best teachers around.
Yeah. Mr. Light.
So are you part of the media center up there?
Last trimester I did like a digital arts program, and this year I'm going to do digital photography.
Oh, great. That's fantastic. Someday you might want to come down and join us at the station. We've got plenty of internships.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. How about you guys? Do you involved in digital media?
I was in GNN, the Gilmore News Network.
Uh-huh. What did you do?
They actually alternate jobs, and I did almost every job this year except audio and director, because 6th graders can't be a director, so.
That's right. So, there's a lot of good, promising careers in digital media. You can be on TV, you can be doing documentaries or filmmaking, so we encourage young people to go into it. So, are you having fun down here?
Yeah. We come every week.
What's your favorite part?
I think just just walking around with your friends and talking and stuff.
Yeah, every once in a while we get the kettle corn, smell wafts over here.
Yeah.
Get a big bag of it. Well, thanks for being part of our show tonight. I hope to see you maybe next week.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Right.
Always wanted to be on TV.
This is Paul
I love you, Mom. Hi, Grandma. Love you, Mom.
Thanks.
And Grandma. Okay. I'm Ellie Baldwin. I'm Ella Baggett. And I'm Emily Lewis. And we watch NCTV.
All right. You ready to go, Randy? Yeah, it's on right now. Okay. Hi, this is Paul Minicucci. We're back at the Grass Valley Thursday Night Live at the corner of Auburn and Main Street, downtown Grass Valley. And tonight we have special guests from the other side of the county.
The other jurisdiction.
The other jurisdiction in the county, our own very much appreciated Nevada City Mayor Robert Burton.
Ex-mayor.
Ex-mayor.
It shifted on
did it shift?
13th to David McKay.
Okay.
Annually, it just rolls on.
Right. Now
Now I leave, right.
the mayor has a largely ceremonial role, right? I mean, you're just a council person.
Correct. It's your master of ceremonies at the meeting, and beyond that, you try and show up.
Right. You cut a lot of ribbons and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and my favorite part is the mayor's and manager's monthly breakfast, because, quite honestly, it's a real likable group. So
Do you catch any extra flack for being mayor?
Extra communication.
Extra communication.
People just, maybe it's a different expectation, but it doesn't change
Right.
walking down the street, because I walk through town all the time. just talking to people.
Right.
Being engaged and trying to be responsive.
Right. So key to the game. Now I understand that you're a UCLA graduate.
Some time ago.
Some time ago. When were you at Bruin Land?
I graduated 1974, and then it was a couple years out, and then SC Law School.
So you're one of the hybrids.
Yeah, but
survived both.
I think I remember. The only football game I remember was the UCLA SC game with Gary Bateman and O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, I was at that game.
And UCLA lost.
Yeah, they did. I was at UCLA from 65 to 69, so I'm a Bruin as well. That's how you get on the show here. I secretly check people. If they're Trojans, then no, that's not true. I love USC. It's got a great film school. But once a Bruin, always a Bruin. So tell me about some of the issues that are closest, nearest to your heart. I know I had read in The Advocate, Love Point interview with you, and you talked a lot about the arts, which is also something that I'm very near and dear to my heart. Tell us about the arts in Nevada City, and what can the City Council do to help out the situation we have?
Well, the city council and the city itself really can't do much more than have a conducive environment. I mean, for example, last night there was a reception that the Nevada Theater and KVMR put on to acknowledge, honor their merger and to, I guess, discuss a little bit the outlines of their project for expanding the facilities there and moving on to keep both organizations downtown.
Right.
KVMR, I think, had been looking all over Nevada City, whether it was out at the Tech Center or somewhere else for another location.
Right.
And was lucky enough to build that partnership arrangement to explore the 10 buildings behind there.
Right. So are those tin buildings historic buildings, or are they just tin buildings?
I've heard they're looked at as historic buildings. How that plays out, I don't know. I haven't seen any drawings. It'll go through the usual processes through the Planning Commission, and it'll be evaluated. If there's controversy, there will be controversy. But they're sensitive people, and as ever, it's weighing the pros and cons, balancing the equities of what's good and what may be a little bit in position.
There's a lot of people around the country who deal in the arts and arts consulting who would say the number one thing that arts groups could do for themselves and help themselves and the cities that they perform in is to do more collaboration and to do more mergers, because there's no reason why the business side of an arts organization needs to have, we could have one master organization, have a musical organization, a theater or whatever on the artistic side, and save a whole bunch of money in terms of HR and all those other needs. So
I understand it. And then you have the problem of competing egos. But I mean, other things that are going, there's the Nevada City Film Festival's coming up. Circle does its annual environmental film festival, and what the city does is basically cooperate in whatever the needs are, whether it's closing down the streets or easing up on parking restrictions. Same type of thing happens for the wonderful Saturday market.
Right. Tell us about the Saturday market.
Well, Saturday market is now, I'm overwhelmed to think, in its fourth year, because they're going by too quickly. And every Saturday morning from 8:30 to 12:30 on Union Street, all local farmers come in, with one exception. She comes up from Marysville, and then some other people on the other side of the street with soaps and crafts and cheeses and things like that. I mean, I can't say much more than it's a splendid little affair. What Renette and Molly, their original idea was to create a community draw. And I think I cynically said to myself, "Oh yeah, sure." But then I've been volunteering since from the 7 until closing time to help with it, and I found that they were overwhelmingly right. What it does is it absorbs all that need, and I think that it was a surprisingly strong need for community involvement, a sense of community and wanting to do that. So what you do is people are coming down every Saturday morning, intermixing, and there's that sense of camaraderie that's
right. But the city meets there. That's I think the marketplace helps do. I think we lose sight of the fact that there are different constituents in every city and county, and that sometimes we split ourselves so finely. This is the arts crowd, this is the restaurant crowd, or whatever. And the markets, just like this market, has a really good cross-section of people, and I think it really gives you a sense of place, which is in a way not easy to do in Nevada City. In a way, it's very easy. I mean, everybody knows Nevada City as a tourist attraction in of itself, and the history behind it. But living there, it's just like any other place. It needs its that glue.
It is a community, and I think that this helps bring it out. I mean, the only caveat is if you want the good vegetables, show up early.
Yeah.
I mean, from the grower's point of view, it's really a successful event. For the latecomers, it's disappointing because a lot of it's gone. You show up early, and
just
more
like
and
fly
more
fishing
stuff. Right.
You get there in June. What are some of the issues that you're faced with this year? I mean, I know we had a vigorous debate about the bed and breakfasts.
Yes, and that's an ongoing debate between those who feel that there's no place for a bed and breakfast in any residential area and those who believe that, carefully filtered, that it is a workable kind of an idea.
Right, and it seemed to me that the proposal on the table to have special use permits is a really good one. I mean, there's nothing blanket in one direction or the other.
Yeah, it would. My thinking on it is it wouldn't be an entitlement. So anybody comes along and gets a license, much like a business license in a commercial district, you're there, you get one. Rather, each, we'll call it a project, is evaluated on a case-by-case basis. If it works in a given neighborhood, in its proposed size, then it would be more likely than not to be approved. If it doesn't, move on. I mean, there's examples of things that have worked there.
And we're talking off camera that we're in a different economic era than we were when the ordinance was passed back in '94.
Yeah, the measure. Well, it wasn't an ordinance. It was a vote. It was Measure G, I believe that was the one that banned additional B&Bs. That was a time there was either 10 or 11 around, and people were afraid that they were spreading too rapidly and basically taking over the neighborhood. Now it's a completely different economic time. The city certainly could use additional TOT, and moreover, a lot of people who want to come like to stay in a neighborhood environment.
Right.
So that's one of the issues. Another really compelling issue is the downtown courthouse.
Right. Let's talk a little bit about that. One of the things that I think people don't understand is that money is appropriated for courthouses at the state level. That's what you can use it for. It's not like it's not general fund money.
Right. There was I don't remember the law that was passed, but it set aside certain amount of fines and additional assessments that are coming through the criminal court system are applied to this enormous fund. I think it's over $5 billion here. Then the AOC, Administrative Office of the Courts, goes through their list of courts in all the counties and prioritizes which counties have a need. Ours has a particular need because it's insecure by current court standards. The facilities are dated and inefficient. So they prioritized us for, I don't know how they've come up with the money, how they allocate funds, but about $108 million was allocated for our courthouse. It was allocated in two components. $27 million was allocated towards land acquisition, which is a pretty hefty sum. The balance for construction. Yeah. Over the period of a year plus, we've worked with the AOC to bring them around to understand why the downtown location was important. Because initially, when you come from the outside, you build it on a place where it works.
Yeah.
And out on 49 is an easier spot for them to find a big old piece of vacant land.
But it's a big economic draw for us in Nevada City downtown. So want to see it there.
Essential rather than a vacant building that's on the slow decline, because the county doesn't have the money to renovate it, nor are there the tenants.
Well, there's a whole bunch of other issues I'd love to talk to you about, but we're about out of time, so I appreciate your coming by. Thank you so much.
I'm glad to.
And we'll see you again sometime. I hope to have you on my show, Nevada County Interviews, at NCTV in the next couple of months.
Hello there. I'm Melissa Missler reporting with NCTV. We're doing a Meet Your Neighbor, and I'm here with Sandy Schmidt of Women of Worth. Good afternoon, Sandy.
Good to see you.
How are you doing today?
Doing wonderful. How about you?
I'm great. Now, we're here with Women of Worth. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, Women of Worth, we just celebrated our 10th anniversary in the community this year. So we are a community benefit nonprofit, volunteer run, and our mission is to assist families in crisis, especially those that are escaping domestic violence or sexual assault, and help them rebuild their lives.
Right. So now when you say rebuild your lives, what are some of the unique services that you offer?
Some of the unique things that we do is we really focus on the practical needs, so that way we're not duplicating other services already offered in the community, but fill in the gaps of those that aren't being filled. And so that can be as simple as helping them with the practical clothing and toiletries, getting them to a safe place, car repair, counseling, school supplies for the kids, clothing. It's really case by case what that client needs at that time.
And now you just brought up the kids and the clothing. You're doing a backpack drive right now. Is that correct?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
This is our 9th year for Way Cool Back to School.
Way Cool Back to School.
It's called Way Cool Back to School, and it's our backpack and school supply drive. And usually we reach about between 400 and 500 kids each year and supply them with brand new backpacks, school supplies. If we can help them with PE uniforms or cleats, so that way they can be actively involved in things they really have a passion about, we want to help with that. And it's really a community effort. Everyone really pitches in to make sure that the kids go back to school feeling equal with their peers. And they have new set of tennis shoes on, and they have new backpacks and new school supplies. So it's a really neat event.
Now, if somebody watching right now decided that they really wanted to help with the backpack program, what would they do to get started?
But we know there will be ongoing needs until after school has started, because that's when the teachers and other administrators will identify needs within students. And they can either donate school supplies, they can make a monetary donation and earmark it for school supplies, and then we will do the shopping. And that really makes a big difference. There's a great need this year, and donations are significantly down. We have volunteers manning the phones, and so they're there to take the calls, fill out the applications. If there is a family in need, if someone knows of a family in need, to call our office, and they can come in and fill out an application and go through the interview process. And then we can assess whether there's a need or not and help them with their school supplies, hopefully.
And now some of the needs that might call in, you have housing available?
We do. We have. We opened 1 year ago this month, Heddie's Haven, which is a transitional safe home for for women and women with children that are fleeing domestic violence. Okay. So what's neat about Heddie's Haven is they can stay there longer than a traditional shelter stay, which emergency shelter is needed and very important. But we found that it's the long-term help that is really needed to really get them whole inside and out. So they can stay there up to several months, and we have programs that they participate in, and then when they leave, their lives are transformed.
Wonderful.
So, so it's a neat program.
Now, you have lots of events coming up, but one of the events is the Heddie's Haven Poker Run.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, tell us about that.
That's September 17th. It starts at the Union newspaper. It ends with a family-friendly barbecue, live music, and smoothies and raffles at Condon Park. Even if people don't have a motorcycle or a classic car, they can come to the barbecue and enjoy the barbecue. And we invite people to come out there. And it's a great event. This will be our 2nd year, and we're really hoping for a lot of people to come out and enjoy this with us and raise money for Heddie's Haven.
Well, I know we're going to be there. Now, is this where the car is raffled off, or is that another event?
The car drawing is in process right now, and our goal is to sell 777 tickets. So go to our website, which is www.ihaveworth.org.
So again, this is Melissa Missler with NCTV, and back to you on the corner of East Main and South Auburn.
Hi, this is Paul Minicucci, and we're back at our headquarters at Main Street in Auburn in Grass Valley, and we're at the Thursday night market. And with me, our third guest of the evening is Randy Hanson. Randy is works with us at NCTV, and is also, of course, the host, anchor, producer of Grass Valley Television, the only video media in our county. So, Randy, thanks for pinch hitting here and coming aboard.
Oh yeah, thanks a lot for having me down here. Although I was always here before, but I was on the other side of the camera.
That's right. Randy's often on both sides of the camera, so sometimes it confuses him, but nonetheless, we go forward. So actually, the idea to come down here was hatched by Randy. I know you know Ray Diggins from long past, the manager of the Thursday Night Market, and Randy came to us and said, hey, let's do a live production from Thursday Night Market. And we have done 5 programs live. It comes with some problem, as we found out.
We've done some live and some we haven't, and we're going to continue to try to do live ones. We had some problems with our equipment, but we have brand new equipment now. This is a great thing called the TriCaster, and we're really looking forward to be using that. And by the 18th, which will be not next week's show, will be taped, but the week after that will be a live show again, and we get to test out this new thing, and it's really going to help us be able to do more events.
Right. The TriCaster, the uninitiated, is what's called a studio in a box, and instead of having a big studio like we have at NCTV, channel 11 and 17 on your Comcast dial, we have this little machine that's only about this big, weighs about 20 pounds, and is got all of the necessary switching and electronic equipment that you need in order to produce a show. And so we're looking forward to her playing around this morning, but it'll be perfect for this kind of circumstance, won't it?
Oh, absolutely. And then the fact that now with the Digital Media Center, and that we're going to be uploading a lot of content onto the internet that's not going out on standard definition. We'll be shooting high definition. We have cameras now that do high definition, and this new equipment does that. And maybe it just looks like we'll be able to do a lot more venues in town, and we're looking to maybe do things in Nevada City and Truckee and other areas. And it's really a matter of how our infrastructure on our internet capabilities become more and more fine-tuned. Like eventually when fiber optics gets everywhere up here and everybody is on the internet, then it'll just be really easy for us to be able to actually go anywhere in the county and do things live.
Yeah. And we've got big news brewing at NCTV. We're going to be moving to 2 places, actually. We've found the secret of co-location. Actually, we haven't, but we're going to try to be 2 places at once. We'll be moving in with the Grass Valley group up on their campus on Providence Mine Road, which is a really fortunate turn of events for us. Dave Perillo, who is the Vice President of Worldwide Operations for them, has graciously invited us to come aboard. And then we also will be having a presence at Nevada Union High School. So we'll be in both places at the same time. And I want to touch a little bit about with you, Randy, about when we have what's called the one-man studio. What's that all about?
Well, our one-man studio is sort of like I've been doing GVTV News for about 5 years now, and basically I've been doing it with a software, with the computer, and one camera, and it's a one-man studio. I basically do the whole thing just with myself. I don't have a crew. Most of the shows that are put on NCTV are done in studios where you have to, usually you have to have 4 or 5 people. You have to have somebody for sound, somebody for titling, somebody for engineering in the back, and then you need your camera crew. So there's usually a lot of different things that you have to do. So we're getting drowned out by these guys, aren't we?
We're at the center of the party right now. And actually what we should do
we
is
have the Neo stage in our lap today.
Thread to put them on air right now. Why don't you take a...
Yeah. just start videotaping them, and then maybe they'll say that they're watching NCTV. Look, yeah, come on, you guys can be on TV. We're tired of talking. We'd rather have you guys here.
We've got a crowd of young people here.
I'm way too big.
Waving at the camera and say, "I love NCTV."
I love NCTV.
Yeah.
NCTV, #1.
So where are you guys from? You from Grass Valley?
I'm from Fairfield.
Fairfield?
My mother.
Okay. Thank you guys. Good work. So we are the people's TV station. Anything can happen on live TV. So as we were talking about, though, we've got the ability now to really simplify what we're doing.
Well, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be opening up to train people how to use that type of one-man studio where you can actually do a show. You can put a show together in your own house. You can record your whole show and do it all by yourself, or you could, incorporate that with maybe if you wanted to do a studio show and use footage from a one-man studio.
Right. Well, let's talk a little bit about one of the magical items in video production called the green screen. Tell people what the green screen is.
Well, basically, with the one-man studio, you use the green screen, and what it does is you shoot with the green screen behind you, and it takes whatever's green behind you, you can replace with a picture or a movie or whatever. So,
right. It filters out anything green.
Right. So it takes anything that's that color green gets replaced with whatever image you put up there. So, like in my show, I have a news show where I have this big news studio, and I'm not actually in that big news studio. I'm
or
in
you
a
could
room
have
with a green screen.
a correspondent sitting 3 feet from you, and they look like they're in Paris or Rome.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Good. So, there's more action going on off camera here, which we won't talk about.
Well, we've been a lot of people down here tonight. It started off a little bit slow, but now it's starting to pick up again. That's good. And I know the next week is not going to be necessarily very big because of the fair, and most people are going to be there. In fact, I'm going to be there. I won't be there next week either. But this thing still goes on till September 2nd, and we still got a lot of good guests coming up.
Tell us about some of the people coming on board.
Well, we have David Levin from KVMR, and we're trying to get Tom Fitzpatrick. I haven't got a confirmation yet back. Actually, right now that's the only ones.
Well, we have some board members.
I have board members next week. We have Susan Rogers and Jay Kuka and
Christine Kelly. Scheduled some of the board members for the new Digital Media Center. And what we're trying to do is to add to the services that we have now, not just be a television station that broadcasts and even produces their own work, but to be able to help businesses, nonprofits, and even city government, county government, get their message out by allowing them into our studio so that we can help them with any kind of media effort, whether that's a website enhancement or a webinar or, as Randy said, a one-man studio operation where a business person might be able to come on board and for 6 or 8 minutes they can hold forth and tell people what their business is about. In the future, this decade is going to be all about digital media. There isn't going to be any product designed or manufactured or marketed that isn't going to use digital media.
Well, also we have the new flip phones now. We just acquired flip cameras.
Right.
What did I say? Flip phones.
Yeah.
Well, flip cameras. They're high def, and we've got quite a few of those. So if you're a member of NCTV and you want to go out and get involved in our new social networking
citizen journalists,
and we're going to send people out with these video cameras, and be able to go maybe to your favorite restaurant, maybe you'll take pictures of the food, interview the chef, and then upload it to our social media network where you can come in and people be able to go into these places and be able to go to different networks with different whatever they're interested in. If you're interested in arts and things like that, you go to the art name. If you're interested in cars, you go to the car name.
Right.
Things like that.
Yeah, that's what we call communities of interest. So you don't have to market to get that TV audience. It's already built in. People who are on the Ning or on the social media site are there because they have a preference for talking about, art, culture, food and wine, or whatever the community of interest is. And so this is the wave of the future where I think TV is going to be more personal. It's not going to be dominated by national media centers like it is now. And I think the day's coming very soon where citizens will begin to really use the media to tell their own stories, whether that's, for celebrating a ancestor or, the retirement of their father or mother from service, and, digital media is the way to do that. We really do have the slogan of be local, buy local, and watch local.
Right.
That's where we fit in. So we've got a couple more minutes left. Randy, what's shaking after you get back from the fair? We've got 3 more shows?
Yeah, we have 3 more shows after that, and that'll be it for this year. But this is, I think this is a very successful start for this. We'd like to get more support from the businesses locally. That's one thing we're going to be working on for next year, because it does help us if we have underwriters for the event.
Community TV.
And we're going to be doing it. I'm pretty sure we'll try to do this again next year. And now that we have this new equipment, we'll be looking to be able to do more things out in the public, and then be able to jump out there when something has happened and we want to that we don't even know about, and all of a sudden something's going to happen. We can go out there and cover it.
Great. Well, that's a good way to end and a segue to more business. We've got some folks who want to get on TV. We've got some more sponsor, underwriters to thank. So that's about all we have time for. Randy, thanks for coming on.
Hey, thank you.
This is Paul.
Hi, I'm Sandra March, and I watch NCTV.
Next up of interesting characters downtown Grass Valley, we have Mario. What's going on, Mario? What's new?
Well, I'm a Grass Valley graduate, 1982. Proud of this town. I still love it with all my heart. And I'm back to be here again and try to see if we can save this place. And I'm out here petitioning, trying to make people sign some things that could save our country.
Excellent. All right. Well, good luck with that, man. We'll see you here.
How about if I sing you a song?
We'll save that for next time. Bring your guitar, man. This is Juan Brown, your roving reporter with NCTV at 435.5 South Auburn Street, speaking with Melissa Missler of M3 Mall. Melissa, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Well,
Great.
thank you so much for coming out today.
Yeah, well, thanks for being with us. So tell us, M3 Mall, it's not quite as big as a mall in Roseville, but what is M3 Mall? What have you got here?
All right. M3 Mall is actually a beauty and wellness studio. We do specialize in custom cosmetics, weight loss, wellness, nutrition, anti-aging, skincare, lash extensions, waxing, shimmerlies, and so much more.
How do you get all that jammed into that small space?
Well, we actually have a big team of people that are really focused on one of our slogans, which is Your Dream, Our Team. And we have 3 cosmetologists that, like I said, will do hair, shimmerlies, updos, custom cosmetics, go out on location with brides. Then we have 2 wellness consultants that will meet in your home or in our studio for weight loss consultations or anti-aging needs that you might have internally. Then we do have a photographer who's on location quite a bit, a videographer, a DJ, and just so much more with the team. So really fortunate to have all of it in one package. So when we say M3 Mall, it's because we do it all.
So it's like a complete one-stop service for putting on a wedding sort of program. But do you also do walk-ins as well here at the salon?
We do. Really, where our target market is brides for the big events, bringing the entire team together. But we also really have a custom cosmetics and anti-aging line, which really focuses more on the baby boomers wanting to look and feel younger. And so walk-ins are welcome, but we do prefer appointments.
All right. Little sidetrack here. Speaking of baby boomers aging, I see a class reunion 1986, Nevada Union High School. Do you have something to do with that?
Yes, I do. My name in high school was Misty Missler, and I was part of the cheerleading team, student government, all of that. And so I've been fortunate enough to be in charge of the last 3 reunions. So we are now planning our 25th reunion, so that does put me at age 43. It's going to be on August 13th at the Miners Foundry in Nevada City, and Nevada Union is also a nonprofit, and so we're working with them with one of our fundraisers as well.
Wow, lots of volunteering. Now, I didn't know that the union had a category for this, but Volunteer of the Year, apparently that's you, huh?
I'm very fortunate to have received that. As we were discussing off camera, I didn't even know it was an award, and so to receive such an honor really means so much to me.
You were lobbying hard for something more in the cosmetology department, but you ended up with a Volunteer of the Year award. What are some of the different things that you do volunteer for?
Well, we've done so many different things. I'm currently serving as Mrs. Northern California as a beauty queen, and through the Donald Trump organization, we do have to volunteer with 2 organizations every month, and I want to keep them in Nevada County. And so we've worked with Relay for Life, Women of Worth, Sierra Nevada Community Health Plan, our church, which is New Covenant Baptist Church out on Squirrel Creek Road. It's a little tiny church. And Alma's Heart Ministries. So we actually are working with 8 different nonprofits right now, and really excited about the partnership with them.
Now, how do you get time to do all that volunteering and then run your business as well?
It keeps me busy, that's for sure.
Must be a real go-getter. Well, thanks so much for your time, Melissa, and all the good volunteer work, and hopefully we can get you to help us out here at NCTV as well.
I'm actually really looking forward to being one of the newest volunteers at NCTV, so hopefully I'll be one of your roving reporters very soon.
Well, you got the knack for it. Well, thanks so much for your interview today.
Okay, thanks for having me.
Back to you guys live at the South Auburn and Main Street intersection.
Here in Grass Valley, California. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Howland Walford. These here are the high beams behind me. Bob Wills number. If you don't like Bob Wills, get the hell out right now. Let's go. We don't care. Ladies and gentlemen, Brett Billings, here you go. Her cheeks are rosy red. Her lips are sweet as sand. It tastes like gingerbread. Oh, 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 me, oh, my Miss Molly, I'm lucky. Oh, me, oh, my Miss Molly, won't you say you love me too? Now when Miss Molly smiles, the sun it dims the spell. And when she laughs, her voice is like a little silver bell. Oh, 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 me, oh, my Miss Molly, I'm in love.
Cornmeal ground. The man run the mill, said the mill's broke down. What's the matter with the mill? What's the matter with the mill? What's the matter with the mill? Done broke down. Can't get no grinding. Tell me what's the matter with the mill?
Valley at the Thursday night market, and I'm here with Dr. Melissa Agnes. Good evening.
Hi.
Hi. Now tell us a little bit about what you do here in Grass Valley.
Sure. I'm a local radiologist, and I just opened an Insight Imaging, which is a place that does imaging for women and men. Sorry, we do mammograms, ultrasound, bone density, and we go over the study with them when they're there. Really friendly place, and I love NCTV.
Hello, this is Harrison Doctor reporting Thursday Night Markets in downtown Grass Valley. I am with
Jennifer DePet and Sandy Beer.
And could you tell us a little about your business?
Of course. I run Brutal Honesty Soaps. And I run Bath Time Bliss. And we make all organic, fair traded products.
Interesting. And do you have a store in town, or do you just come to these local events and sell your products?
We do both.
Yeah?
You can find us at the farmers markets and in Halo, 311 Commercial Street in Nevada City. It's a store that's just about to open.
And when will it open? Do you have an opening day?
We do not.
All right. Well, we're just going to have to look for you guys on the internet or at these wonderful events in downtown Grass Valley. Thank you very much for talking to us. You ladies have a wonderful night.
Thank
you. This is Harrison Doctor at downtown Grass Valley Thursday Night Market.
Hi, I'm Sharon O'Hara, president of Citizens for Choice. We have a wonderful reproductive health clinic on 120 Richardson in Grass Valley, and we watch NCTV.
Good evening, this is Melissa Missler reporting with NCTV. We're in downtown Grass Valley at the Thursday night market. We've got some guests from out of state. Would you introduce yourself and tell us where you're from?
Sure, Marcia Belforte from Seattle, Washington.
Nick Belforte from Seattle, Washington. John Belforte from Bainbridge Island, Washington.
Victor Galicchio from Nevada City.
And Victor, tell us, what do you do here in Nevada County?
I have a glass blowing company and I watch NCTV.
Thank you so much and have a great night.
I'm Nick and I watch NCTV.
I'm Lucas and I watch NCTV.
I'm Brandon and I'm Whitney and we watch NCTV.
The American dream does not come to those who...
Here at the library, people ask a lot of questions.
I'm trying to get a job, but